Good morning, Facebook Live. Good morning, Instagram Live. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. It's another Wealth Wednesday, and this is Dave on Ruffin-El again. Back again, like I said, with another Wealth Wednesday. I want to greet you guys as I customarily do in peace. I want to say peace. I want to say Grand Rising, Hotep, Ashe, Islam, Assalamu Alaikum, Shalom. Any greeting of peace and paradise that you identify with, I want to extend that to you at this time as I live and practice the 5 principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I know that the universe is pleased with what we are doing here because we are, in fact, having a great deal of success. Good morning, Ms. Ingrid Washington. Thank you for tuning in. Ms. Erica Cameron, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. As you see by the description, real briefly, this is another Wealth Wednesday, and we're going to talk a little bit about money management, right? Just a little bit. I won't be before you, ladies and gentlemen, long. I want to make this live not too long. I've been trying to keep them under 15 minutes. You know what I mean? But sometimes that doesn't happen, right? So here, money management is very, very, very important when you talk about building wealth. See, a lot of people skip this part and they start talking about how you do, a lot of other things. But a lot of us aren't in the position where we can do those things at this time, right? So we need to manage the money that we have. And the first thing that I want to talk about, or the main thing that I want to talk about, spend a little bit of time on, is how people manage their money through saving, right? Through saving. How do you manage your money through saving? See, because I came up in the time where they start bringing out these things called 401ks and stuff like that, which, in my opinion, I think is just a glorified savings account. But people were taught to save for your retirement, right? Me knowing what I know now, I've never seen anybody save for their retirement. All the people that I know that retired need to supplement their income along with their savings. The reason behind that is how the economy works, right? And I'm going to do a YouTube video on that, about how the economy works in the fiat currency system, which devalues the dollar, right? So if you have very old people in your family, they remember when, a loaf of bread maybe was 50 cents, right? So now a loaf of bread is about $2 average, right? And I'm not talking about the good bread, right? So what has happened at that time, over time? What has happened is the dollar has depreciated. So you can take the same dollar, but it doesn't buy as much these days. And they're growing the wheat out of the same ground and, things like that. But the dollar just isn't worth what it used to be back when your grandparents were little. Understanding how this currency system works, that's going to continue to happen unless there's a revolutionary turnaround in the United States economic system, which I don't see happening. So we can guarantee that when we get older, our money won't be worth the same that it is today. So if you put that money, as some older people do, they will bury it in the backyard, right? They bury the money, or you keep it in the mattress, right? That money is going to do the same thing that it's doing for you now. Absolutely nothing. In fact, it's going to devalue over time. So there's no way that you can saving for your retirement is a myth, right? That's a myth that we were taught to put money in these IRAs that are backed by the government and these banks, and guess what they do with the money? They invest the money, and they give you that's why it's so, and they make it on the job, these 401ks and stuff like that. They make it so enticing for you to put your money. They'll match what you put in there. But the whole time, I don't know if you guys know about the old scam. You put your money in this bag with mine type of deal, right? And then what they do is they'll give you returns. They'll match it, but they're making way more because of the investment programs that they have. as far as with the money that you're giving them is actually an interest-free loan that you're giving them, and they'll match what you put in it, right? As a thank you. So what's actually happening is, we're not really growing our money to be able to sustain a minimal lifestyle at the retirement age. The second thing that I want to talk about is just saving in general, right? I've not read one book, and it's extremely difficult to save your way to wealth. And I don't want to say impossible, because that rules out all possibility. The probability of you saving your way to wealth is slim to none. I haven't read one book of a person or a story of a person who's done that. And if you know someone who's worked a job alone and saved his way to be wealthy without doing anything else, feel free to drop it in the comments. I would like to read that story, and I will be standing corrected. So with that being said, we cannot save our way to wealth. Now, I'm not saying that you have to spend every dollar that you have, because this is called money management, but you need to manage your income, manage your money. You should have an emergency fund. Once that is well established, then you should be able to, well, let's talk about that. An emergency fund will cover things like if in fact you lose your job. I read one book that said if you don't have 6 months of your income in the bank, you are indeed broke. So we want to use that as an emergency fund, and they use a 6-month time frame, because that's the average. If you are a professional and you lose your job, that's the average time that it takes to find a comparable job, right? So to the one that you lost. So we want to make sure that we always have that emergency fund there for you to fall back on, just in case the car breaks down, and that should be really a separate fund that you have just for your vehicle, because when you have a vehicle, chances are something is going to happen to it, because vehicles are not made, they aren't impregnable to damage, right? So what we want to do is also, good morning, Michelle Davis. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. So we also want to do that. We also want to establish an emergency fund. That way we have that to fall back on and alleviate stress from our lives. Now, doesn't matter how much that you start the emergency fund with, but you want to give constant contributions to that, right? Now, it's also possible for you to be a saver, but we don't save the money to save. We save not for saving's sake. We save the money to invest in something later that we can make a profit, right? So that's one way that what you want to do is be able to have cash on hand. And if in fact a deal comes up, you can make a cash buy, and then in turn that buy into something that you can make a profit. So we'll make a profit off of that buy and then put out cash back. Also, I'm going to say something that is very, very different than anybody else. You would hear say, get yourself some credit cards, okay? Get yourself some credit cards. Credit cards are not bad. They're there. You can use them in times of emergency, and don't buy anything with a credit card that you can't pay for outright. What I like to use them for is I take them as just loans that I already have the money, right? And what I do is I can use a credit card that pays me to use it. I have one credit card that pays me 5% cash back. It's on rolling categories. I know like next month it'll be from retail stores, right? So and sites like Amazon or things like that, I can use that card, get 5% cash back, buy something that I can make a profit from, make the profit, give them back the money that I spent. So what I just made a profit from was free, right? I didn't spend any of my money, so we can use them as a source of OPM, right? Other people's money, right? And we'll get into those terminologies later. But credit cards are not necessarily bad if they're used properly. There are a lot of strategies on how to leverage credit cards, leverage your credit and credit cards to make a profit. And in turn, they pay me 5% for using the credit card, plus I get to obtain a profit, keep the profit, off the item. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I told you I was going to keep this live short. If anybody has any questions, about the money management, we all know the thing about control your spending. Don't splurge on things that you really can't afford, but make sure that you do reward yourself. I do want to say that because you always deserve it, right? You deserve it. You make the money, so you deserve to be rewarded, but keep those things under control, right? That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I told you that this live would not be long, so I try to keep them under 15 minutes. If anybody has any questions or need more clarity on things that I said, just make sure that you always have an emergency fund and look to save to invest in things that are going to pay you without you being directly involved. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, tonight at 8 p.m., I'm going to be blessed to share the stage with the gentleman that's going to be showing us how to make money off of something that can continue to pay us, right? How we can get paid over and over and over again residually from something that we do one time, right? It's a strategy that we're using right now. This is not anything that's a test group or we're looking to guinea pig anybody. This is something that we're doing right now today that's working for us, and we want to share it with everybody. I'm going to put the link on this video so everybody can tune in. Why don't you guys come out and be my VIP guest via the Zoom platform tonight at 8 p.m. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys got something out of this live. My name is Davon Ruffin-El, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like, share this video, because this information is basic, but someone may be able to use it, right? I wish somebody would have told me this information when I didn't know it. That being said, I'd like to leave you guys as I came, in peace, and remember that peace is together, never apart. Everybody, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.